We're live! It's the Website 1 planning meeting. Yay! And yeah, I guess it's not. Scrums are not posted to the Website 1. Gosh, so many things that would be nice to change. And I don't know if Matt or Alex will join us. God. Well, I feel like we're kind of quite out of rhythm. Obviously, we didn't have a planning meeting last week because we're doing the design sprint, and I'm away next week. I guess we should check in on what we've been doing. I guess Michael, you or I didn't really do anything on Website 1 this week. Would that be correct? But Lokesh has done things, and that's wonderful. So the idea is with these meetings is that if we have tickets that we think need voting on, then we bring them up, put them in advance. I've added some new issues that were found, there are things that could be voted on, but we're kind of lacking capacity to work on them. What's the most effective thing to do? In terms of, I think, clearly we could go through so Lokesh, you've done your pull request, and you're feeling positive. You've got a fix in there. You were trying to explain that there is some other thing that you also need to do, or what were you saying before?
Yeah. So I was saying that the basic logic which I have used is that I have just put a statement here that that it should be abated within the current event duration.
Mm-hmm.
If it is abated within the current event duration, then only it will be it will display the join now link. Now I have added another parameter here, and this parameter I have added because sometimes we come on early and we might change the link before the event is starting, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And at that point we do not want that when the event start, the join now should disappear. So to accommodate this thing, I have added this thing, a small margin, that if it is updated a little before when the event is about to start, then also this thing will show join now.
Great. Yeah, well that sounds good in principle. I guess the devil is in the details. But yes, I see we've got changes to the event and the event instance, and so the event instance spec has changed. The event specs have not changed. Yeah, so I guess, and all of the cucumber tests are currently passing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think in some ways, we've got like a kind of a bleed from this problem. I think often the challenge with this, and I've had people work on this before and then push something out, is there's often, when we get the whole system out, there's some sort of unexpected side effect. But I'm very much liking the way that you've broken up the logic here, so that rather than having a very, very long multiple part Boolean function, we've got one here that's breaking out the different things. So it's saying, right, even though these are still quite complicated, but this is much, it's return true. So it's if it's been updated within the last 2 minutes, return true. I guess, yeah. I mean, there are things that I might worry about there. For example, you've changed this from here. It says manually updated event not finished, and now we have updated within last 2 minutes.
Actually, I have only changed the manually updated event not finished, because updated within last 2 minutes was also there earlier.
You're saying these two bits of code were the same?
Yeah, only the thing which is changed is that manually updated event not finished has been replaced by line 40 and 41.
Has been replaced by line 14.
40 and 41.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's been replaced by, okay. Right, sorry, yeah. So we've got updated within the last 2 minutes there, that's still there. And now, instead of having manually updated event not finished, we've now got, has the URL been set directly? Is the updated within the current iteration is 600, and is it before the current end time? Okay. Right. And I guess that previously manually updated event not finished was doing something similar to this, but slightly different. You were saying before you've added this extra thing here to like take account of this, that, and the other.
Yeah, the manually updated event was doing the same thing, but it wasn't, it was updating as soon as the event is starting.
Right. Sure. Yes, and so this is another situation. So I imagine here though, is this line rather long? Is Code Climate flagging that at us or not? Apparently, or at least not. It's not introducing a new issue. We think that's still within the. Yeah, I mean the one thought that I just have there is, I mean it's great to have broken these things out. Like in some ways, like all of these things, like this is the easiest to read, right? Like return true if it's been updated within the last 2 minutes. Okay, we know it's definitely live. It's been updated within the last 2 minutes. It would be nice in some ways if we could find a sentence to replace this and a sentence to replace this, and they would become the method names. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of, there's a problem that you've encountered, and oh God, what was his other name? Rishi encountered this week, and it's a common issue. So I'm tempted to just merge it in and see how we go. I mean, what we want to do is get it on the staging server and test it out. I think. Any comments or thoughts on that, Michael?
No, but
no, but
I'm just thinking you're gonna like disappear next week, so.
Well, I'm not going to disappear. I'm going to be available in the mornings and evenings on Slack and email. So it's not. I'm not taking the week off. I'm going and working for a private client who, it's not that I'm going to be trying to stay away from Slack and email at all costs, as I often do when I'm, actually on holiday.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I guess in the background, I will start getting that out onto at the very. I think. Is it important that it's on staging? Not particularly. We should be able to do the test on develop actually. Yeah, because it's all about manual updates. Yeah, so that should be deploying to develop. Yeah, there's no. Then that will automatically get on to develop. So we should now. Lokesh, are you in the website one notify channel?
No.
So we have it set up so that all of the automated notifications, or almost all of them, come to the website one notify channel. Can you see?
Okay.
So what will happen is that no, actually, I guess I should ask. So you've obviously been running this, and you've got the test passing. Have you been running the app live on your own system, like with Rails, and like creating an event and testing it manually as well?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And I guess the other thing to think about is, you know, we've just changed the functionality there in the effectively at the unit level, and the unit tests have changed, but so the Cucumber tests are all still passing. So we should be asking the question really is, you know, this functionality as described, like for the manual tests that you might have been doing there, really there should be a description at the top level in terms of acceptance tests. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you mean we need to create Cucumber tests?
Yeah, or at least I think we must have some existing Cucumber tests. And the fact that the functionality of the system is, you know, like there's this problem that's occurring for the users, right? Ideally, what we would do is first capture that problem in the Cucumber test, so that we've got like a automated way of repeatedly rerunning the manual steps by which someone encounters this problem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think I covered that in the unit test only.
Right. Yeah.
They are pretty much covering.
So you're covering in the unit test, but it means that you know, if the unit test this is the point: is the unit tests are not enough by themselves. I mean, it may be that we can say that the acceptances are too difficult to write or something, but part of the whole, you know, kind of approach here is to make sure that we have, you know, these things covered in the feature tests, because do you understand what I mean? Like the unit test is no guarantee of the high level behavior. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
I guess that, and the particular thing that we want to identify is, you know, what's the existing feature test that should be sort of handling this? I mean, we've got this like Hangouts feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got this thing here. It's like, right, we've got things here about I should see the link, join, and watch, and so on, right? So I think part of the thing that we have to do here as well is review the existing this Hangout feature, right? Because there's if the users are experiencing some problem in using the website, right, it's doing the wrong thing, you know, either that behavior is, you know, we don't have any Cucumber test catching the problem. You know, the Cucumber test is wrong. It's describing something that isn't very good for the users, so we should fix the Cucumber test, you know, and or we need to add something. So like we've got this one here. It says like show Hangout details for live event, right? And this has been passing before and after you made your changes, right?
Yeah.
So it means that at the moment, in terms of our high-level description of the app, we're not capturing the description of having a usable app, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd yeah, I mean, I can merge that in now, but I think we do need. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. Anyway, I guess let's see. My brain's really not functioning well. Matt's also here. Hey, Matt, how are you doing?
Hi, good. Sorry, I lost track of time.
No problem. So, yeah, we saying Michael and I haven't really done any Website 1 stuff this week. Lokesh has wonderfully been working on fixing this issue about like when the join now and click to join and stuff link is done. I just merged that. It doesn't have a Cucumber test, which I think we do need. So I hope Lokesh can create that. Matt, I guess you didn't do anything on Website 1 this week?
No, not directly, no.
No worries. So I guess, does anybody have any tickets that they want to get voted prior to them being worked on?
So trying to wrap a cucumber test around that other feature that's already been written.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be tricky.
You think?
Yeah, because you're going to have to break it. Like, you almost want to start with, well, I guess you whacked our develop branch, so.
So I didn't quite hear you what the developer have, sorry?
I said you want to, in the ideal world, you want to see it go red for the right reason. Right?
Absolutely. No, in the better flow would be to write the failing cucumber tests, see it fail, then write the unit test, see that fail, and then this is, I mean, you know the acceptance test unit test cycle, right, Lokesh?
Yeah.
So ideally, we follow that cycle. In the case where we haven't, then it's important, I think, as Michael's alluding to, that's writing the cucumber test, we have to break the functionality to make sure that we see the cucumber test failing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I will make another pull request and do the missing things in that.
Right.
I think you actually want to go potentially back to, like, maybe how I would approach it is go back to before you wrote the code, like go back to the commit before it and write the unit test and see it, or write the acceptance test and see it fail for the right reason. Then pull that in to your bug fixing thing and see if it passes. Because you want, it's not just, it's you want to see it go red for the right reason. Like, you want to see that you're actually nailing down the bug that we've identified, not just that it goes red. So it's very tricky if you're going to break the code. Like, that could be tricky if you break the code and you break it in a way that's like, it's not actually nailing down the bug that existed.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, Lokesh, you're following what Michael's saying.
Yeah. So ideally, what I should have done was that I should have run the failing cucumber on the existing code and then make my code pass.
Right, but what you can do now is you can go back to the commit before it was merged in and write it and see it go red for the right reason. So you can, like, go back in time, basically.
Okay.
And then once it goes red for the right reason, you verified that, then merge it in.
Yeah.
Merge it in with,
okay, I got it.
Yeah, and I was just gonna, oh gosh, it's annoying. You hold down a button and now it's gonna see the agile. God. But yeah, so now if I go into, I mean, this is it's the difficult thing here that I'm always conflicted about. You know, people have done work on some code, they've got it working. You know, we've got something broken in production. Yeah, I think if I was being more rigorous today, I would, you know, maybe have not merged that in. But anyway, but so if I get pull origin develop now, we can see we can see here that this is the latest one there with your thing. So what Michael's talking about there is we can check, you can create a new pull request set, let's say, off of having checked out, this is the code before your current pull request has been merged.
Then check out that branch. Yeah.
And so, yeah, if we do get check out minus B, needs a code, and whatever with the number. But I guess in the idea of being somewhat rigorous about it, what we could do there actually in the waffle board is we could add an issue there about ensure failing for the right reason acceptance test for join now issue.
Yeah, Sam, I
Oh.
was going to say either that or just there's a couple critical bugs with that same window screen. You could just do the next one, but this is fine.
Do the next one, like
Do the next one properly, and because but leave that issue out there. Maybe let them choose. If it's easier just to do the next, but I guess this is easy too.
Yeah, and I think what we want to avoid is a situation where
to the
we
point
think
that
we've. Hold on, Michael. It's where we want to avoid where we think we fixed it and then we haven't got an acceptance test covering it and it reoccurs. Sorry, Michael. What were you going to say?
I said it's better also if he addresses it now.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Like, knows what context rather than like 6 weeks from now and someone else and
Yeah.
we'll go back and write that.
Yeah. So let's have a vote. Let's have a vote on this one. So this is acceptance. Oh, oops. Not about a command, is it voter? There we go. Okay. So if everybody would like to vote on this. Okay, I've got everybody's votes. Okay, so Michael and I are saying medium, and Lockish and Matt are saying simple. We're split down the middle. Matt, why were you saying you thought it was simple?
I think he's already familiar with the issue, and there's already a fix for it. So it's just figuring out cucumber, which.
Mm-hmm.
That's not normally a medium issue. Is right, right task.
Right. Michael, why were you thinking it was medium?
Because, like, wrapping a bug after you've already fixed it.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the original ticket? It was medium, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I could go with simple.
Lockish, why were you thinking it was simple?
Because I read the existing cucumber test, and I think there are sufficient step definitions already existing, so I can easily use them and create another cucumber test easily.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think my position of medium is that it requires, as I think Michael was alluding to earlier, a certain amount of, of self-control. Like, it would be really easy to write some cucumber test that passes and then put that in as a pull request, and we don't have good, mutation testing or what have you that would check that the cucumber test is actually testing the right thing. And it's that thing of getting the cucumber test to fail in the right way. And we've got this additional step here where, because you've got the fix in already, or you think you've got the fix in already, that you have to step back to the earlier code or break your existing code in order to have that cucumber test really, nail the actual issue. Does that make sense to?
Yeah.
So that was that, and in my experience, this is kind of, it's the key thing from the CS169 course, from just that everybody has extraordinary trouble with. So yeah, that was why I was going for the medium. But Michael was willing to concede simple. So Michael and I have both been able to explain our concerns. I guess I'm happy to concede simple if that allows us to move on.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's simple if he could just simply forget kind of temporarily what he did before.
And the thing is, I think even then though, just that. Anyway, let's get it on as a 1, and then we'll review it when he does it, and we can come back and
just maybe put a note. Whoever reviews it could check out the earlier and just
this is like
it fails. You know what I mean? If you're concerned about that, we just check it.
I'm putting that in there. Okay, great. Does anybody else have any other tickets or issues that they would like to get voted on? And I assume you're happy, Logesh, for me to assign you to that ticket.
Yeah.
Great. I think that's assigned it has. Okay. Well, it sounds like Michael and Matt don't have any items there. I guess I've got one issue that I would like to get voted on is this problem reported by Sage that he was trying to start, he's trying to update the Hangout thing with a link to his Wiki EDU thing, and it just wasn't working, and it wasn't pinging Slack. Which is kind of strange.
I think maybe I misinterpreted that. I think if you read it carefully, he was just trying to do something wrong. It's not a bug.
In our system, you don't think?
I don't think. Let me look at it real quick. I think he was just misunderstanding how you something
about how to do the update. Yeah, I mean, he seemed to be. I mean, I think 1, we have a usability issue. Period. 2, he's trying to add the handout link. I mean, what I don't think we saw was any update in general from Sage. I don't know if I will.
Well, maybe enter what you think is the bug, and I'll look at. Meantime, I can look.
Oh, that's interesting there. I guess these are older ones. That's April. That's from back when we are. So, yeah, like searching for this is back when that Google Hangouts API was working. So we used to get updates, right? And since then, and I guess it's what is it? It's Wiki EDU, isn't it? Kind of Wiki Ed.
I mean, he simply may not know which button to press.
Right, but I had talked him through it, and
what channel is that in? Because
it's general.
General, sorry.
But so like this is the I want to wonder if I go here. So this is on staging here, and let's log in. Really? Okay, so we have event actions here. Edit Hangout link. Right.
I just got it, so.
You got it pinged in the Slack, did you? In the
staging.
The other Slack.
Right, in our. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so superficially that looks like it should work. So yeah, it's unclear why that was a problem.
So is there like anywhere else that he can put that URL into?
Well, I mean, he just pastes it directly into the Slack. I mean, it's you know.
No. I mean, there's like another. There's like separate. There's another thing that you can edit, right? Which is just editing the event.
Yeah, no, maybe he's editing the wrong place. He may, you know, where he's putting it. That's entirely possible. Yeah, so he might.
Not very clear in the interface either.
No, absolutely. No, I mean,
it does say Hangout links. So.
It does, yeah. I mean, it's conceivable that he's. I mean, what he's describing sounds like he, you know, tried to update it and came here, and then when he clicked on Join Now, it went to a. But it's also. I've had some really odd things like these, like dedicated Hangout links. You see how the URL is specifically to wikiedu.org and his thing, and I think that in itself can be, you know, issues for people. It's oh god,
why was he pasting that instead of an actual Hangout?
Creating one. I think because this is, you know, he wants to have a regular. I think not unreasonably wants to have a place for it. I mean, I guess we could be saying to him, do you need to use that one? Wouldn't it be better to just create the one from scratch each time, and then you could record it? But I think this is part of our, you know, issue for, you know, for the people who are running projects. You know, we've got this system which is like maybe trying to help them run their projects, but they're maybe not believing that, or maybe incorrectly believing that there's not much value from them using the system the way we intend them to use it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Sam, but don't we already have a bug to make it so that you don't have to paste the URL every time?
Well, I mean, we have the Hangout API has gone away. So, like,
yeah, but
oh, go on.
The real issue, sorry, seems to be that they have to paste.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like,
this issue would be cleared up if
yeah,
you didn't.
like he and others were clearly able to use it when it was just start a Hangout and the Hangout plugin worked and it just went through. Yeah, absolutely.
And isn't that what we want somehow?
Yeah, I think so, because I think it's kind of, yeah, like we totally want that. I think, you know, there's
it's not possible with Hangouts. You have to move to a different server.
No, we'd have to move to a different system.
So that. Oh, then that's the problem. I mean, if we have
the reason that people are being asked to do this manual update is because the Hangouts API has gone away on April 21st or what have you. Google shut down the Google Hangouts API. It was possible that the buttons would stop working. For some reason, the buttons still are working, and so we can continue to use the buttons to quickly create a recordable Hangout, right? But then if you want them pinged to Slack and the whole Agile Managers website to say this is the live here and give the link on the front page and other places about where to join, then you have to do the manual update. And it's clearly a massive drop in the usability of the whole system.
Yeah, no, just think about this for a second, because there might be another, like maybe a warning message saying you're not allowed to. You must paste a newly created.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think if
don't allow what he was trying to do, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, like the you know, if it was the case that I mean, the difficulty we have is that there's no way for us to detect that the button has been clicked here, but because it's in like its own separate iframey, googly, what have you. Yeah, if you know, when you started here somehow, or the time rolled over, that it would, instead of requiring you to go here, that the thing would just be revealed and it would have a message saying, oh, please enter your Hangout here. That's kind of like a, you know, it's one sort of fix. I mean, it's this.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's definitely good to think out of the box for these things.
I was just trying to think of something else, but it doesn't. I don't know what the.
No, but I think you're right. We could have it so that you know, this page that what, you know, if you had reloaded this, again, if you had reloaded this page after that time, it's difficult because we can't tell who is the person who started the Hangout in order to give them an alert to tell them they need to update the Hangout link. It's frustrating. I mean, there might be something we can kind of set up. I mean, I think we're in, you know, we've done our half an hour thing. Yeah, I guess it's we just don't know. We don't even know exactly what the problem was here. We kind of need to be around with him when he tries it to see if that would even work. We replicated it and it worked, I guess is what I can put in here. We replicated on staging and it seemed to work. I mean, I think we're kind of up against this problem now that I think it's fairly clear that, you know, moving away from Google Hangouts is going to be an important thing to help the community grow in the future, I think. And it's then about being able to put the development time into it. There's obviously, like, you know, we had that chat in Event Manager. There's, you know, I think enthusiasm for, you know, an alternate WebRTC solution, but, you know, it's kind of, I guess it feels like it's in
the meantime we need to keep
right and then there's also limited engineering resources, so yeah, I'm not sure what the best approach is really.
Well, 4 people can do anything, right?
I'm told. Michael and Matt, were there tickets that you wanted to focus on?
People.
Go on.
4 people is a 1 pizza team, so.
Yeah. Well, and I think, you know, what would be exciting is if, you know, oh, we lost Lopesh there for some reason, but we've got more pizza go around. Would be to follow up the design sprint with doing some coding sprints where we, you know, like paired in rotation and you know, got stuff done. Of course, that requires other chunks of commitment, and you know, it's difficult to. I think it's, you know, it's one thing to do a design sprint for a week as a kind of a one-off. It's another thing to kind of say, you know, let's get a new system built and spend X amount of time on doing it. I mean, it would seem to me more practical in the first instance to do a coding sprint. It doesn't have to be, you know, 40 hours a week, 20 hours a week, or just to have a week focused on, you know, the new landing page, right? Like if going forward we do this content test with AdWords, right? And we see that there's a big improvement in the number of people being signed up, right? Say it's like twice as many. So we say, well, that's worth doing. Particularly with the GitHub pages, it feels like there's a pathway. We could say, oh, let's continue making gradual changes to this site, right? But another approach is if we have, you know, a static site like this one, is that we could kind of make it so that we could follow this model that a few people have, which is that you have the very, very highly performant GitHub pages hosted initial thing that tells your story, that sell and that, you know, this is the deal, right? And effectively, it's a mechanism of allowing us to wean ourselves off of this big legacy, dare I say it, Rails code base. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry, just real quick. That's the way Zipcar worked. That a Drupal marketing site. It looked just like their member site.
Right.
So I've seen that. Yeah, and marketing people could change whatever, you know, to get people in. And once they're in, it goes to the transactional. Yeah. Right.
Right. And Craft Academy, Make Academy, I mean, it's a common setup, and I think that the difficulty that part of we've had in the past is you know, lots of effort and so on were put into this. I mean, Michael and I, we spent a lot of time refactoring the existing events framework, and I think we made a certain number of improvements, but still, I don't know. It feels to me that there's.
Lokesh had a great idea. Maybe after we do the front page, we could do a sprint on the events page and do something like Action Cable or something, make it work.
Yeah, I think that the.
I don't know if we can make it work with Hangouts or not.
Well, I think it's. I guess we've got to be realistic about biting off chunks that we can do.
Yeah,
it seems to me like if we can follow through on the design sprint, to say, right, here's our, you know, landing page, and then there's, you know, down the road we might do. So, you know, I have a coding sprint to implement the results of the first design sprint, and then assuming that that's gone well, and maybe that even brings us in some more people to work with us, then we could follow that up at another point if we felt directionless with a design sprint, which, as I could focus on different things. I'm sort of tempted almost to focus on the premium stuff, but maybe actually that wouldn't. But yeah, I mean, I would sort of love to be doing a design sprint where we kind of were actually validating that we had a user interface that people would understand in terms of working out when an event is and how to join it and who's there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just wanted to keep that in mind, that idea that he had.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, it would. Yeah, we keep tapping away at things. Just over the. I mean, I can't commit to taking on any new features over the next week. Matt and Michael, were there any features that you were interested in working on, or bugs or anything at all that you're interested in working on the next week?
Not really, no.
I've already got one to show the videos. That's kind of an annoying thing.
Oh yeah, is that one that you're working? Which one is that? What's the number?
I just started it before already. It's under ready.
Oh yeah. Clicking on videos in lists not working.
As a matter of fact, they're not even showing up in the lists.
Right.
Is that the real problem? Yeah.
Yeah, we were getting some other additional. So we thought we'd fix the problem by, you know, this cross. We've got this other issue. Yeah. Okay. So you're looking into that one. Okay. Great. All right. Well, we've got a thing for Lokesh and a thing for Matt. Yeah.
Yeah,
there we go.
Priority stuff, but I guess if those are probably the only two that are going to get worked on, then maybe we don't need to look at the priority of the, because when you were gone, Michael and I went through those, and as part of this meeting every week, we went through
and sorted some priorities.
Well, we didn't reorder anything. We just looked at the priority. Maybe that's not a good use of time here, because if you think everything's prioritized already.
You know, I think you know, if Lokesh can sort this one out, and you can sort this one out, I think that's great progress. It's difficult, isn't it? There's this thing of there's so many little things that we'd like to fix, and I think part of, you know, like GitHub, you know, is great. Of course, they're venture funded or whatever, but the GitHub has really evolved. Like they gradually added, you know, little new features, you know, that they haven't undergone.
List. Robert is using GitHub's priority. I can't even find it, but he's got a URL that links.
Oh yeah.
To a prioritized issue list.
Right. That's cool.
It's really nice. So he doesn't even use. I suggested he use Waffle, and then he said, "Oh, I already got the priorities."
So is he using the GitHub project thing that?
No.
You have to send us a link to his.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put a link in. I think I can find it real quick.
Because there's this thing called projects, right, which creates the, you know, the board.
No, he's got it.
But he's got something else.
It's like an undocumented feature that he's.
Cool. But I mean, I think there's this, knocking out and fixing individual features and gradually improving things, and then, you know, separately, there's like, you know, can we make bigger systemic changes to, you know, change things up? I mean, yeah, let's look towards having a new. No, that for better or worse, our design sprint was. I ended up focusing on, you know, trying to tell the story. I think we got, you know, something that was really compelling out of Michael's vision for the Agile Adventures journey. So let's see if we can translate that into more people joining us. And I mean, in the back, my plan is, like, I'm going to have some time on the train, you know, going to and from this thing. My plan is to try and do mock-ups of different ways of presenting the premium materials, and also like mock-ups of a sort of event system that would be more usable. So that's the main thing I'm going to focus on in the next week.
Okay. So.
All right. Well, I think that's our meeting there. Unless anybody else has anything else.
No.
No.
I think it's.
I couldn't quite. Sorry, Michael. What did you say?
I was saying you need to give Matt something big to do.
Do I?
Yeah.
Well, or maybe you need to choose something big and then pair with Matt on it.
Well, Matt can take the lead on it.
Well, that's where I was getting at. Maybe like the events page, the action table or something, or the event manager. I mean, Federico wants to start some big project, you know? But
yeah,
I'm not exactly sure what you want, because you've
what I want.
Yeah, because you've given a couple suggestions, I think.
Well, I think as regards, you know, like hangouts, I think what we need is exploration. So we need, like you're saying, like playing with Janus. We need there's like a research activity, which is playing with the existing open source solutions, playing with the open source components, and seeing what we could get to work reliably. Like, it would seem to me that it would be what's the word, inexpedient to say, let's build something with Janus until we had, for example, tested that we could have a stable meeting between the 3 or 4 of us with Janus, right? Similarly,
oh no, yeah, I agree with that. I kind of forgot about that. So that's the next step with that. Okay.
I think so. And I mean, you know, Janus, and I think you said you found several other ones. And then there's also like the components. We could even build our own, not Jangouts, not Hangouts, but our own AV outs from components if we thought that was going to be stable and actually the most effective way of getting the combination of features that we needed.
Okay, so that's a good next thing. I've got some while you're gone to. I kind of got fixated on Lokesh's idea of improving the existing events, but you don't think that's. You shouldn't look at that yet.
Well, I guess it depends. Like, I think, I mean, the fix that Lokesh has looked at and worked on is fantastic. I think if there are other individual, like, quick fixes that we can make, or even just removing functionality that's confusing.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, any quick fixes like that, fantastic. I think, yeah, there are bigger things. I mean, you know,
I'm trying to write this down so I don't forget.
Well, do we need a ticket in the board here? It's like a research ticket, which is, so one, we've got research hangout alternatives.
Make it part of this project.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess I was confused because Federico said, let's create a new project for this. You know what I mean?
Okay. So research hangout alternatives. Alternatives. E.g. build our own or use Jangouts. What will get us a stable meeting space where we can share screens and record and see who is in the meeting and get telemetry. on people leaving and joining, etc.
That's perfect because that keeps me organized better. I'm working on actual issues than just something.
Yeah. So shall I assign you to this one, Matt?
That's great.
And I think this is something that everyone can join in with. And I guess I don't think we need to vote on research tickets. It's just like the research stuff. Yeah. We're just going back to the. I mean, I think that we've got our pathway. I think for updating the sort of the landing stuff.
Is there anything we should be talking about that? Probably not me. I guess we're already doing the A/B test, right?
I think we kind of what we want to do, is kind of we've got these sets of intuitions from the design sprint, and Michael's point is right, but will it actually have the impact that we suspect? So we've made a few changes. We could make some more, but let's if Laura's good to her word, she can roll this out, and we can start to see like over the course of the next week. I mean, if the sign-up levels are the same, right, on both of them, there's no argument for making changes to this page, right? Is there?
Right.
Because we're getting a certain number of people signing up, right? So if there are no changes to sign up based on those two approaches, I mean, you can argue like, oh, well, we need to change other things about it and this, that, and the other. And people who are inspired to do that can keep doing that and make those further changes, and we can run more experiments, and that's great. But I think that this is the exciting thing going forward, is if we can make, direct our engineering efforts based upon, solid data that says, right, if we make this change, that will, lead to this thing. So after that, for me, the key things are, there's the premium thing, which I think is more just wordage, which I think I can work on myself. I mean, I guess what I'm going to do is, since Ashley hasn't been around, I guess I will, add myself to this, because I'm going to work on some of this.
Yeah. Do we want a research ticket for the A/B test?
I don't
know. It's fine. I
think Laura's. We'll
excited about creating.
Tickets for things. I was just gonna. I mean, I would say that, like, if you need something chunky to work on, I mean, there's stuff for the projects. Like, you've done some great changes for the projects, right? In that, this is now, alphabeticized over here. I think our data from GitHub is now more accurate. So I think, improvements to the project. I think the key thing actually that we have people asking for would be if we could allow people to search the projects via their technology.
Right.
I hear that lots of times. I mean, we've got this, the getting started page where we've got that little. I mean, we're still stuck on, I think the danger with wanting to get working on some meaty coding thing is that there are simple things like just editing this page, which kind of Lara and Marufa have got stuck on, could be a big improvement. That just going through the individual projects and making sure that all of the ones that are not active are set to inactive. Like, we've got things here like this AV setup scripts. Nothing has happened in that for a very long time, and so really, to avoid confusion, this project, if we edit the project details, this should be set to, it's not active. No one's on, it's closed, whatever that thing is. But so there's, do you know what I mean? And then now we've got current projects. It's only the active ones that appear here. So
no, I totally agree. So I think I'm all set for like the next week, and
yeah.
I don't need anything that research ticket is pretty meaty.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, and I mentioned these not particularly focused on you as well. I think if you can do that research, that's fantastic. But Lokesh and Michael, if you have a spare moment, and you want help improve this page. And like all of these people who've created projects for, like they shouldn't be creating I don't know, for the assignments. Like that's a sort of noise, I think, really. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could. I mean, whenever people like make something, but we've got like the duplicated things here. You know, it's like a test one there. You know, and so of course then you have to join it in order to close it. Go on.
Just real quick, we kind of dropped the getting the GitHub data. We put in the nice error message, but we didn't fix the.
Yeah, Michael, was there more to do on that one?
I think
not a lot. I think putting the key in fixed most of it, and I think I think there's just some errors that it's tripping on that aren't actually. They're not really impacting it. They're just.
Are they errors related to the project data being corrupt?
They're like errors about assumptions in the data. Like certain things turn up nil.
Right.
Like there's no data to be gotten anyway.
Right.
So,
right.
And we have a thing where it's being caught, so it's not crashing the whole task.
Right. Right.
It's just flooding our logs with the way.
Yeah. Well, and I think there again, like just the process of weeding out, you know, dead old projects would be really valuable.
I think if you look at our projects page now, it actually has like, well, you're on staging. You're not.
Oh crap! There was me
doing all this editing on staging. The actual site.
Yeah.
You look at it. There's now actually. Like the projects look like the active projects. And
the ones that have had recent things coming in. I mean, one thing we've got is this bloody image size is just ridiculous.
So that was kind of the major.
Okay, that's good. I wasn't sure that's good though if we.
Yeah, that's
It turned out we were not using a key for the one way we were querying GitHub, so we were getting rate limited.
Mm.
Oh, okay, yeah.
As soon as we put the key in, the rate is high enough that we don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's us for this week. Please do run the same meeting again next week. In my absence, I will be enjoying doing user testing for this private design sprint. Think of me while you're enjoying the open source world. Yeah, and I guess I'll be on Slack and email next week, but I won't be in Hangouts, so I will see you when I see you.
Okay.
Great.
Bye.
Bye for now. Take care.